Hello, welcome back to Kiai Gaming. My name is Alex. Today, in a bit of a different video, I'm going to talk about some of the things that I saw and bought at Salute 2017. So this year's Salute was a huge show, as Salute always is. It's the biggest wargame show in the UK, and it's also one of the biggest in Europe. Even before going into the show, the queue to get in, which I call the snake because it kind of snakes around the entrance hall, was absolutely huge. And once you get into the hall, it's just a load of participatory games, traders, board games, just loads and loads of tabletop stuff in there that you never actually get to see all of because Salute is just that big. You never get around to seeing everything that you want to see. So today I just thought I'd show you some things that I bought and saw at the show. So first of all, this is the Salute show guide, which you always get when you go to Salute. It's just the usual. That's the miniature, which you'll see in a second, from this year's show. This year it was all themed around the Russian Revolution because it's been 100 years since that happened. That's the usual map. And yeah, just a show guide, just to show you what is what at the show. This is this year's show miniature, which is themed like the rest of the show around the Russian Revolution. If you've never been to Salute, not every table is all about, you know, the theme of the show. It's just that the club that runs the show, South London Warlords, they have a few tables there that have, you know, a game based on the show's theme at the show. So it's not all Russian stuff. Okay, so let's move on to some Test of Honor related stuff that I bought at the show. These are tokens and range rulers from Art of War Studios. Basically, these are replacement acrylic tokens for the tokens that you get, the cardboard tokens that you get in the Test of Honor core set, and some fun thematic range rulers shaped like swords, because why wouldn't you have range rulers shaped like swords? So this isn't actually a complete set of tokens. I'm actually missing some samurai tokens, which Art of War said they're going to send over to me. But here you have things like a samurai token, an ashkuru, sorry, not ashkuru, a commoner token. There's also a cautious move token, some blood drops. You get some fate tokens as well. This isn't actually what the tokens look like. They've still got the protective paper on them because I haven't crayoned in the tokens yet. So they've still got this protective stuff on them and on the back as well. And I really like these range rulers as well, which are actually accurately you know, proportioned. So the entire sword itself is 9 inches. From here, from the kind of the blade guard to the tip of the sword, is 6 inches, as it says there. The handle is 3 inches, and the blade guard itself is 1 inch across. So this is actually usable in Test of Honor. You can actually measure ranges with this. Not so much for ranged weapons as such, but for general movement. You know, nothing in Test of Honor currently moves more than 9 inches. So you can use this to play the game. Of course, I had to buy these in red and blue, and there's no guarantee that at some point there's not actually going to be a sword fight at some point during a game. Okay, now let's move on to Oshiro Model Terrain. There's some info and social media if you want to go and check them out. Basically, these guys make terrain and little bits and pieces that you can put on a table for, you know, Japanese-related games like Test of Honor. They make things like houses and torii gates, ponds, things like buckets, wells, walls, all that kind of stuff. And at the show, they actually had some new releases, and I actually bought one of these. Basically, this is a sake offering post that would be placed outside shrines. So when people go to pray at the shrine, they would you know, take one of these jars and leave some sake in the jars as an offering. And this is what the model looks like. I think it's actually been primed. It's been pre-primed because I definitely haven't primed this. But yeah, it's made out of resin. And yeah, it's a nice little piece to add to a table. I'm building a temple-based table for Test of Honor, as you'll see in a few weeks. So this is a nice addition to my table. Also, the nice lady who sold me the model wrote this kanji for me. This means congratulations, so I'm told, and this is what you need to write on each of these jars in order to make this accurate. Okay, moving on, I just want to mention my highlight of the show, which was this game, Mythos. I played a really fun demo game of this with an opponent who was only 5 years old. A little boy who was being assisted by his dad playing a game of this. And we had a lot of fun playing Mythos. There's some social media and codes and stuff on the back if you want to go and check out the company, Paranoid Miniatures, that makes this game. It's a Cthulhu-inspired game. It's not a Cthulhu game as such. It's heavily Lovecraft-inspired. It's a horror miniatures game, 28mm skirmish. And yeah, I'm a huge fan of H.P. Lovecraft's work. So, you know, I was instantly drawn to this game. Found it by accident, actually, as you do a lot in Absolute. You know, you find games that you didn't plan to go and see, but you end up maybe really enjoying. And I really enjoyed playing Mythos, and we had a great time. The game ended in a draw, if anyone's wondering. Didn't really matter. It's only a demo game. But yeah, it was great to see kids at the show, taking part and playing miniatures games. And also, as a reward for taking part in the demo, we each got a packet of Haribo, which is nice. Free sweets are always good. And also a range ruler as well, which says Mythos, and this is a 10-inch ruler, a acrylic ruler. So that was nice. Okay, so let's move on now to Wargames Illustrated. This is the latest issue, May 2017, as I'm recording this. And basically, this issue is all themed around samurai, prompted by Test of Honor. So inside, there's a lot of stuff about samurai and other wargaming stuff as well. So here, samurai figure scales and buildings in all different, and it covers all different scales as well. There's also an article in here about the Ronin, and also some scenarios, 3 new scenarios for Test of Honor. So you've got Village Assault, you've got Ambush, and Camp Showdown. So it's got all the all the rules and stuff for these scenarios. There's also a guide to painting samurai, a quick guide to painting your samurai, because samurai have a kind of a reputation for being really hard to paint and like a really scary kind of figure to paint. It's really hard to paint samurai, and it's actually not that hard. It just has that reputation for being really hard to paint. And there's also an article here about Oda Nobunaga, the fool who went on to unite Japan. Basically, he's one of the most important figures in Japanese history. A military genius, an important figure, really important figure during the Sengoku period. And Wargames Illustrated has a line of miniatures they call Giants in Miniature, which is basically all like important people throughout history. Julius Caesar and people like that. And Oda Nobunaga has now been added to that range. And the creators of Test of Honor, Andy Hobday and Graham Davey, actually created a card for Oda as well, which it says you can cut it out, but you can actually download this from the website. I'll put a link in the description. You can actually download this card from the Wargames Illustrated website if you don't want to cut up your magazine. Now, I actually bought 2 of these miniatures, and I'm going to show you what this one looks like, and I'm also going to give it away as well. So this is what the card looks like. It says limited edition number 49 of 500, and on the back there's a little bit of stuff about Oda if you didn't know who he was. And here we have the miniature itself. This is Oda Nobunaga in metal miniature form. So that's what the front looks like, and that's what the back of him looks like. It's a really nice model. Limited edition apparently. I didn't know before buying this it's actually going to be limited to 500 copies, but apparently it is. And yeah, overall it's a really nice miniature. So I said that I was going to give away Oda Nobunaga, and I am. Basically, all you have to do to win this miniature, this actual miniature here, is to leave a comment on this video in haiku form. So standard haiku form, 5 words, 7 words, 5 words, 575. Leave a haiku in the comments, and I'll pick one at random next week, and that person will win this miniature, this Oda Nobunaga miniature. The contest will run until May 2nd, 2017, so if you're watching after that, the contest will have already closed, but if you're not, the contest is open until May 2nd, 2017, and yeah, good luck, you might win a copy of this miniature. Okay, so those are some bits and pieces from Salute 2017. I had a great time at this year's show, talked to lots of people, played some games, bought some stuff, and I cannot wait for next year's show to roll around. It's my local show, I live in London, it's my local show, so yeah, I cannot wait for next year's. Okay, so please consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. And also if you do subscribe, then be sure to hit the notification button next to the subscribe button to guarantee that you actually get fresh videos from the channel, because YouTube for some reason doesn't always send new videos to every subscriber, which is weird, but that's what happens apparently. So be sure to hit notification if you do subscribe to the channel. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks very much for watching, and until next time, see ya!